chicken a la king? No. Yeah, that's king crab. Ow. I hate it when I do that. Caesar salad. Du brute? Nope. Aha.
Yeah, so we're inside, going to get some lunch. Going to grab some lunch, I should say. Grab and go. I love those terms you guys use here in the US. Let's get some grab and go.
The escalator is out.
What? The escalator is out. It's always out when you need it the most. It's just how it works. That's life for you guys. Life fails on you when you need it. It's just dramatic. I just love to be dramatic. So the escalator is out. Just teasing you guys. So let's see what they have here. It's been a while since we had lunch here. For the obvious reason, because you almost never can find a place here. Well, sometimes. Oh, no. By the way, those of you who know us, follow us, know that we love to come and visit Milagros, who works here. She's such a sweetheart. She's not here today, though. She doesn't work on weekends. So if you want to meet Milagros and tell her we sent you, you have to be here on other days, other than, not during the week. Let's see what they have. I see vegetarian, I see sandwiches.
Pizza.
They have a whole kids section here, what they call the kids zone. That's where you get those simple menus, not too many fuss. For kids, they have stuff like drumsticks with rice, only that. So it's very minimalistic. Because I know, and we have a lot of kids in the family, so I know they don't like vegetables, they don't like this, they don't like that. So this is what we got for lunch. Mike got a pizza. I must say, it smells and looks delish. Honestly, it does. It's good. It looks good. And then some of this pasta. I got the sandwich, which normally comes with bacon. It looks awesome. With this potato salad. So I asked if it's possible to get it without the bacon, and it was. They're so sweet right here. Sometimes, just sometimes, not too often, you find people that are not willing to make you a version without the bacon, but usually you will find them willing and, helping and awesome. It's all really, really delicious, but for me, I think this is too much bread. It's too thick. It fills you up even before you enjoy the rest of the sandwich. So I'm just gonna take this little piece off and just enjoy the other half of the bun. Mike, still enjoying your pizza? If you ever decide to do the behind the scenes tour, living with land, or you're coming down here for sorting or whatever, just know that they do have restrooms. They're just hidden right here next to the sorting entrance. So for behind the scenes tour, this is where you check in at this exact... Oh, it says so there. All right. So we just checked ourselves in, and now we're waiting for the tour guide. These people just came off the Living with Land boats.
Can we go through it?
You're allowed to make photos and videos, you guys, so I'm gonna... Thank you. Thanks. That's awesome. Exciting that you can make videos and pictures. Thank you.
Just kind of grouped in. We are a little bit of a large group today. We're in 15. We still got everyone. Okay, doing good so far. Alright, so welcome to our first stop. This is our IPM Lab. Does anyone have a guess at what IPM stands for? Perfect. Integrated Pest Management. It is not Idaho Potato Management. I get that a lot. Yeah, Integrated Pest Management. So basically, it's just using a variety of methods to help control pests. So these can be things that you guys do at home. Does anyone have any screens on their windows? Yeah, so like most people do. So that helps keep flies or other insects out of your homes. We call those cultural controls where you're changing your behavior. Here we like to use a lot of physical controls. So we'll physically take the bug off the plant. That could be pinching the bug off, vacuuming it off, things like that. And then other controls that we use here are biological controls. So that's where we use a good bug to help control a bad bug population. So a common bad bug that we have here is our leaf miner fly. And a common good bug is our parasitoid wasp. You guys are welcome to come take a look at these guys. I'm going to set up a video. They'll have a little more up-close view of them because they are very tiny. I think this middle section right here is pretty good for leaf miner flies. And then the parasitoids seem to be up here and kind of in this bottom one. So yeah, come take a look. I'll set this guy up.
Oh yeah, seals. Oh, huh? Yeah, they're really tiny. I just love how everybody's trying to see one. They're so tiny. You can barely see them. Yeah. I think they're even smaller than a fruit fly.
Yeah, it's like they're very tiny.
They're very tiny.
So, I'm going to pass a jar around later. They'll have the wasp in it, so if you didn't get to see them, they'll have a little bit closer to that too. So once you guys get a good look, I'll have you guys direct your attention towards the screen, and feel free to look at those two while I talk. That's fine as well. So up here, we have an up-close view of our leaf miner fly. This is a female leaf miner fly, and she's currently plants. So here's our good bug, or our hero
Wow, thank you.
situation. So this is our
Look at
parasitoid
these.
wasp, these guys that are on the right. She is finding that little leaf miner fly larva by using these little contraptions right here. That part of the video where we saw that little leaf miner fly tunneling out of the leaf. So that's what's going on right here. So those little larvae are going to tunnel out, fall into that funnel, and go into that little cup right there. And then we collect those cups. We keep them for a few days until the wasps fully mature. And then we can release them throughout all the greenhouses wherever we see we have leaf miner fly problems. You guys can pass these around. So these are the wasps, so you can see them a little bit up closer if you didn't get to see them in those. There. You guys go see the leaf? Cool. Gotta put this back over here. And I think there was another one.
yeah.
There we go. Thank you. Perfect. And then while you guys pass those around, I'm going to get out some whisper units. These are going to let you guys hear me a little bit better throughout the tour. Because it does get loud in a few certain spots. And
Oh,
you're a large
look at
group,
that.
that way
It's
people in the
crawling.
back can hear me. Get those out.
Thank you. Oh. Oh
And if
yeah.
you just want to take one, pass it around.
See, these are the good guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's creepy. Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to the Biotechnology Lab.
Tiny little seed that's reaching up to meet your need with the right amount of faith and the right amount of earth. And you'll grow to see the sunshine on your day of birth. Let's listen to the land we all love. Nature's plan will shine above. Listen to the land, listen to the land. Let's listen to the land we all love. Nature's plan will shine above. Listen to the land, listen to the land. When springtime comes, how can you tell?
Alright guys, so welcome to our Biotechnology Lab. Now before I start talking about that, this is actually the back side of the last thing you see on the boat ride. So that lab you saw, this is actually the back side of it. So it's a pretty nice sized lab. So biotechnology is the tools and techniques used to increase crop yield by creating healthier, happier plants. Things of that nature. And a lot of big mass farm producers nowadays are using biotechnology just to create stronger plants so they're more resistant to a lot of diseases. So we do have a couple of projects going on in here. First of which, Disney is actually partnering with the USDA trying to combat something known as the plumpox virus. Have you two ever heard of the plumpox? So I ask you because actually about 16 years ago it was found in Pennsylvania. It originated in Europe about 100 years ago, and what it does is it actually affects crops, fruit that have pits. So peaches, plums, apricots, even almonds and cherries. It'll create splotches all over the plant, and it'll weaken it to the point where it can't it won't produce fruit, but it won't also produce energy for itself, and it will die. So thanks to a small little tiny aphid, probably on somebody's suitcase, it wound up in Pennsylvania, a small community in Pennsylvania. So the USDA jumped on board, was able to combat it because it wasn't that terrible here, and now it's eradicated here. However, in Europe, this is a huge problem over there. So the USDA is partnering with their researchers over in Europe, trying to find a strain of plum that won't get sick by this virus. So they've actually found one in 2011. However, there's still a lot of testing going on to make sure that it really isn't going to get sick, because if we start planting these and they start getting sick, what a waste of time, right? So our second project, which you may find a little bit more interesting, is actually our Mickey's Mini Gardens. Now, did you all get a chance to take a look at them at Tour Desk? Yes. Yes. All right. So this is actually where they're created. Now, for those of you who are gardeners or no gardeners, do you know of somebody doing this or done it yourself, taking a clipping of a plant and repotting it and growing a new plant? Yes, that is called tissue culturing, and that is exactly what we're doing here, except it looks a little bit more sciencey, right? Because it's in a lab, it has to look sciencey. So what we've done is we've actually taken a clipping of a mother plant. Now, a lot of the mother plants, for example, the dragon fruit plants, have actually
If you guys
originated.
don't have any more questions, we're going to head to our greenhouse. It's a little cooler in there. We won't be in this direct sunlight. When we get in there, we just ask that you guys please stay on the sidewalks and don't touch or eat any of the plants unless asked to do so, which we will ask you to do. And so we'll just head right in there. So if you guys want to follow me. And then open the door. There will be a rush of air. It's a little loud. But that's just probably the best.
Thank you. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be here.
Alright guys, so gather in to where you can hear me. Welcome to our creative greenhouse. This is our first stop in our greenhouse tour. So as you can see, we are growing things a little bit differently than you've probably ever seen before, other than on the boat. So we are growing in a method known as hydroponics. Hydroponics is growing without any soil whatsoever, and also using water to provide all the nutrients for our plants. Now, in every single one of our greenhouses, we use this method. So we are a dirtless greenhouse. So why are we doing this? Well, a couple of reasons. Because we're trying to find a more sustainable way to grow crops to feed ourselves. If you haven't noticed, our human population is growing just a little bit, right? So we are trying to grow up in the air instead of out, because we're saving a lot on space that way. So that does bring me to our first system right here, which is aeroponics. Now, aeroponics is growing without having anything around the roots whatsoever. Now, if you notice, you have a different type of support here. So this metal rod is actually what is supporting our plants. So plants actually need 5 things to grow and survive. So that is sunlight, water, air, nutrients, and support. And dirt or soil actually provides the support, the nutrients, and it also will hold water around the roots. So we have had to be a little bit creative on how we support our plants, and aeroponics is just one of them. So the nutrient solution, you to show everybody what aeroponics is. And again, that's just growing without having anything around the roots.
So that's the nutrients and water in there.
Yes. So that spray contains water, but it also contains 20 essential nutrients that plants need. Another type of aeroponics are actually these column pots right here. So what we've done, we've just taken a small plant, stuck it in that notch, and let the roots grow straight to the ground. Now, it is getting fed by these sprayers up here, so they're about 6 or 7 of them, I do believe. And every time they pass through, the whole pot gets sprayed, and you can actually see where it's drip drying around here. Behind me, obviously, this is my favorite system because there are fish. So this is actually aquaponics, and aquaponics is the mix between aquaculture, which is fish farming, and hydroponics. And we can grow about 32 plants per square foot. So this is perfect if you don't have a lot of. I've eaten them. I enjoy them. You can judge me, but they're great. So they are pretty neat. Now I did mention again, we do not use soil, but we do have some stuff down in here, right?
This is our mimosa pudica plant, also known as the touch-me-not. And so usually when you meet someone new, you shake their hand. So you guys are welcome. This is one of the plants that you can touch. So you guys are welcome to come up, give him a gentle pinch on his leaves, see what happens.
Plant. If you don't say hello and reach out and touch him, he'll wilt, and you have no idea the amount of trouble I'd get in. So please just reach out and grab a hold of him.
I wondered this kind of plant.
So You know something weird about Stanley?
Oh,
He's our liveliest plant. So Stanley is a type of mimosa. Mimosas are sometimes trees, but he is in a bush form. And he's actually an invasive species here to Florida. He loves tropical regions. He's from actually South America, but because Florida is so tropical, he does very well here. And actually, if you drove on the interstate or highway to get here, you might have actually seen his relatives all up on the side of the roads. So he does very well. So what he's actually doing is he's trying to prevent insect damage, right? So I don't know about you, but if I was an insect and I landed on him, he started moving, I think I'd get out of here pretty quickly, right? So that's what the whole point. What he's doing is he's actually taking up all of the water out of his leaves here in this tiny bitty stem, because if you rub it long enough, it'll actually go down as well. And he's putting that water back into this main stem here. When he's been left alone for about 10 to 15 minutes, he'll release that water right back out and he'll open back up. No. So, those are actually the flowers. So there are new flowers every day. You can, a little bit of wind will make him move. So cool.
Ja, ik zag hem al.
Zo apart. These look like the flowers from Alice in Wonderland.
Okay, so down here, hydroponic grow tank. So this is just a smaller version of what we do here that you guys can do at home. So all you need is something to hold water. So it could be a fish tank like we have here. It could be a bucket. I've even seen people use the plastic tubs that coffee grounds come in from the store if you want like a smaller system. And then you need a water nutrient solution. So that's why our water is green in here. And then you need an air stone. So that provides that air in those lawns that we were talking about earlier. So you have a little air stone that gives oxygen.
There's a hidden Mickey.
Hold the plants on top of your water. So right here we have a little bit of beadboard. And these plants are started off in rock wool cubes that we have right here. So rock wool is a volcanic rock that's heated to about 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's spun like cotton candy. So it's pretty cool media. You guys can pass this around if you like to.
All right.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So yeah, all these little narwhals are all in one little rock wool cube. And if you guys are interested in doing this at home, I have some really great information sheets. I'll pass it around. So you guys have a little details about hydroponics on the back. It has all the materials that you might need to make a system, little instructions. And at the bottom it has some really great resources if you want to find out more information. And there is one about the vertigrow pots. So if you guys were interested in those, more information about those. If you want to take one, pass it around. Yep. Thank you. And so other media that we use here.
Yeah. To know how to do it.
So perlite is also another expanded rock, volcanic rock, and when it's expanded, it kind of pops like popcorn, so it's pretty cool. We use this mainly in our peppers and tomatoes. You guys will see that later. And it just is a great way to provide a little more movement in your media. You know, maybe let the air flow in there. Thank you. Water it in there. Cool. You guys can pass this around, giving you lots of things to hold. You can feel the difference in weight.
There you go.
It's much heavier.
Yeah, this much heavier too.
They have white bags underneath them. And those white bags are completely full of coconut starch. This is just a coconut husk ground up. Pass this around too.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Take a quick drink of water.
Yeah. There you go.
Hot day tonight. So make sure you're hydrated up there. It's hot. Our last media that we have here is our hydroponics. This guy you can see in the system right here. These are just clay balls that are expanded. They're great for little systems. They do give off a little clay residue if you have water going through them. So you just gotta watch your pumps a little bit. Pass that around. And so those are the main media that we use for our
We always use this at home.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. There you go.
And once you're done packing those around, you sit up on the table up here for me, and I get a part started. So this is our most delicious part of our tour. We're going to do a little taste test here. So I'm going to wash my hands, and as I do so, I have a question for you guys. Has anyone ever tried something that's grown hydroponically before?
No.
Yes,
The
what do you guys
future of
have?
agriculture may
What?
include
Yeah,
innovative
what?
ideas like this vertical growing system.
Yeah, what do you have?
Plants grown in this way use
Carrots,
a
that's
fraction of the
cool.
space
I haven't
required
tried
by
carrots.
traditional growing methods. That saves water and increases
A lot of grocery
production.
stores now.
The aquaponics system
A
will
lot of
develop
cucumbers,
provide
tomatoes, and lettuce are being grown
with
hydroponically.
aquaculture.
You guys
The
check
pits
that out.
provide a
Be on the
natural
label.
source of fertilizer for the plant.
Today you guys are going to try some cucumbers that were grown right here in your greenhouse.
It's another great way to produce more.
Yum! Can't wait to try that.
I'll point those out to you in the next greenhouse. Does anyone have any cucumber allergies we need to worry about before we get started? Perfect. These guys are an English variety. They're called Eldora. They have a very thin skin. They're a little sweeter than your normal cucumber. And they are burpless and seedless. Pretty cool. A lot of our produce here in our greenhouses goes to restaurants here in Epcot. Any produce that we have that's maybe not so pretty or may have some damage on it, we give over to Animal Kingdom. So a lot of animals there really enjoy our produce. I know cucumbers especially, a lot of animals only eat cucumbers from our greenhouses. They like to send them anywhere else.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'll just pass these out. Here you go.
Thank you.
And then if you guys, when you're done eating your cucumber, I do have a toothpick recycle bin over there. We are a zero waste facility,
Yum!
which means that we recycle about
Thank you.
99% of our materials here in the greenhouses. You guys are welcome to
With
take
toothpick at all.
Oh,
And as we're
It's
passing
really
out,
good.
anyone have any questions?
it tastes completely different. It tastes different. Less juicy.
It's not as
More.
strong.
No, yeah. That's maybe what I'm looking for. It doesn't have that very strong. That gives us acid reflex.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's even a little bit sweet.
Those are snack bags.
No, you don't like it, no? Okay. It tastes a little bit weird. It tastes a little bit dry, no? It's a little bit dry.
Stay to the left of that line. Okay. Enter in there. You just kind of go around the wall. We got a little more of a crease in here. So go low like this. As you come in, you might hear a loud popping noise. Don't want you to be alarmed. That's just our nutrient system. So that's just ejecting
Oh,
nutrients
yeah.
into our water system.
This is awesome.
Scares me all the time. So that you can put it in the concrete block. Thank you.
I am really enjoying
So if
this.
anyone is interested in what nutrients we use here, there is a list on this wall, and there's a QR code that you can take a picture of, and I'll take you to a little page that has information about it.
That's funny.
So welcome to our production greenhouse, also known as our screen greenhouse. And here you're going to see a lot of methods that are used in large-scale farming. We also use a lot of string. So you can check out these cover vectors and they're and they have string wrapped around it. So this is just a great way to train your plants to grow up, such as low space. And it keeps the branches nice and aerated, so that provides a little less habitat. Also makes the tree really easy to feed through the harvest.
Okay.
We're just going to move down a little bit to these tomatoes right here. Okay. So these tomatoes are cherry tomatoes. They are a ballistic variety. And as Dave was pointing out, they are wrapped around these holes. This is our Lehman Norris. So as they grow up, we release a little bit of string to smush down. So this one started right here, and then that amount of guys will wait here for me. They have it now. All the way to down here. Yes, see down here. That one, that third plot grew all the way to down here.
Wow.
So when you go to your greenhouse, the supermarket, you get tomatoes. Those are usually a determinate variety. So they usually grow to a certain height, grow out like a lot. So these guys are in this one thing. Keep growing for us. And the media we're using in here is a 50-50 mixture of that perlite we talked about earlier and any questions so far? Okay, doing really good. Move down a little bit. We're going to have our salad spinach. You get your salad pretty fun here.
So these tomatoes, they keep giving. They're not 1 year plant, but they keep giving. I don't know how much you can hear, guys, because we have one of these earpieces. And now we're standing in front of cucumbers plants.
In here we like to grow things that we can use with the support of string, as you can tell from these cucumber plants right behind me. Now these cucumber plants are about a month and 4 days old. So, pretty big, huh? As you can tell, there's already cucumbers over here that are fairly big, regular size that you might even see in the store, but we grow ours like twice as big as that. Right across the way, you might be able to see the cucumber plants over there. The cucumbers that you just tasted actually came from those plants right there, so you ate part of the land. Congratulations. We also try to get very creative at certain times, and we like to grow Mickey Mouse shaped cucumbers. The people that work in these
They harvest 500 lettuce every week.
On the top, we like to try to spell Epcot. And once in a while, our interns do it backwards. So good time.
Some of our best ideas have been inspired by nature.
It's so crazy to be on the other side. It feels so weird. Normally we're in there, now we're standing here. Winter melon. 26 pounds.
Yeah, sure. Exactly.
White with a snowflake. Pretty neat.
Oh wow.
They're pretty cool.
Look at that. It's so big. It's crazy. We do need to take a picture with that.
Tiny little seed that's reaching up to your knee with the right amount. You'll grow.
Populating our green beneficial insects that kill harmful pests like weeds and flies, we are significantly reducing our reliance on conventional pesticides.
So in our stand, we have this drip tape that runs underneath it. So the water comes in through this poly tape and it goes into this black one right here. This black drip tape has a couple holes in it. So we're going to plant the plants so the roots are right underneath the holes, and then when the water comes out, it goes directly to the roots and going to take up all the nutrients that they need. You guys can pass this around if you want. So that's why everything in here is growing in really nice straight lines, just because all that tubing's under here. On the stand right here goes about 18 inches deep, and then the middle can go up to 4 feet, so pretty cool. And right behind me, we have our passion fruit vine. Let's back a little bit.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Has anyone ever had passion fruit before?
Yep.
Yeah, that's why it's very popular. Used in a lot of drinks, perfumes, things like that. Our variety that we have here, when you cut it open, it looks a little bit like orange fish eggs. So you're going to be eating the seeds and the pulp. It's a little sweet, a little tart, really good. And these guys produce these really cool purple flowers. You see a few in here.
Yeah.
They're my favorite flower here in the greenhouse. They kind of remind me of something you might see in Avatar. If you guys been over the Animal Kingdom, I was like, that's what it reminds me of. Pretty cool. And then right below, we have some lettuce here. So this is part of a little project that we're working on. So in our stand we have nematodes. These guys are a parasitic worm that attacks the roots of plants, causes these roots to puff up almost like Cheetos. Pretty crazy. And the plants can't take up the nutrients that they need. So with our lettuce, we are putting Pasteurella next to the roots. Pasteurella is a beneficial bacteria that attacks the nematodes. And so the nematodes are lured in by the lettuce. Pasteurella takes care of them. It's a really great system. Very similar to the wasp and the leaf butterflies that we saw earlier. Once these guys are ready to harvest, we're going to take them up, mulch them, and they'll still have that Pasteurella in them, and then we can just spread it throughout the rest of the greenhouse. Other than that, we have Pasteurella everywhere else, and that's going to help combat our nematode problem. Okay, you guys have any questions so far about this area? Doing good? Okay. If you guys want to uproot yourself,
I'm trying to find ways to share the audio with you guys, but the earpiece doesn't give volume that's loud enough to share it for the iPhone. I'm sorry about that. So I don't know how much of the info you got for the audio of her voice. £9 lemon tree. Wow. I've never seen a £9 lemon. Wow. Wow. 15 pounds was the biggest lemon we've had. Disney has shirts of this tree, the £9 lemon if you want. Wow. You look a little bit weird, no? We do look different. They have thorns on them.
Go ahead.
Oh, sure. Sorry.
And those crazy little curly things that we passed right there, those are our monstros. So they're related to the dragon fruit. And I'll show you guys our dragon fruit later on in the tropical greenhouse. But if you cut them open, they're exactly like a dragon fruit, white inside with a lot of little black seeds. Pretty cool.
The dragon fruit. So when I'm stuck with this.
Yeah.
Huh? What am I supposed to do with this?
I'll do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'll throw that back here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Enjoy the citron tree. Yeah, so citron, blue pan, really cool fruit. Our next stop on the tour is going to be our aqua stop. And there's not allowed, so I'll do another tip check for you guys. And there may be water on the ground, so we're constantly getting in and out of the tanks. If you rode the ride earlier, you might see me in one of them. So yeah, just watch your step as it goes. And watch this corner. I trip over it all the time.
Sorry. This is awesome.
Doing another check. Make sure we got everybody. We're coming. You're good. Mr. one more person? Okay, there we go. I was like, oh no. Perfect, I still everyone. Okay, so welcome to our aqua cell. And here we are doing aquaculture. Does anyone have a guess at what aquaculture is? No? Okay, farming of fish. That's what aquaculture is. It could also be the farming of crustaceans, aquatic plants. And here we're doing some shrimp. So aquaculture is a great way to produce protein. And as I'm talking, can everyone hear me all right? Yeah. Perfect, thank you. Okay, so a great way to produce a protein source. It produces about 50% of the seafood worldwide. Quite a bit, and that's really growing. It's very popular around the world. It's also good for conservation.
Aquaculture accounts for 50% of the fish that we buy.
Only harvest from that facility, and then let that population have time to develop and reestablish itself. Right behind me, we have our shrimp, and the guys in the middle two, they're about 3 to 5 months year old, and then the ones in the bottom two are
These are 3 to 5 months old. So cute.
You feed these guys pellets twice a day. It's always fun, you drop them in there and they like grab it like food. They can get up to 2 feet in length. By the picture right here, I'll show you guys. As they get mature, they get a really cool blue claw. So they look like this. Not the best picture ever, especially with this red light in here.
You get blue.
So they'll have a nice blue claw, and then they get about 2 feet in length. Pretty cool. These guys
Wow,
are
2
freshwater
feet
shrimp.
in length.
If you go to a restaurant, you might see them called prawns, so if you're looking for them later.
Ah, right.
And these guys have a really cool skeleton. So their skeleton's on the outside of their body, called exoskeleton. And as they grow older, that skeleton doesn't grow off them, so they have to shed it off. That's what I have right here. Since guys aren't dead shrimp, they're just an exoskeleton.
That's crazy.
Pretty cool, yeah. That's like an everyday when I'm in here cleaning, I might find 1 or 2. I'll take them out. We sometimes put them on display, or we compost them and use them for other greenhouses. Pretty cool. You guys have any questions so far? Yes.
So this is the skeleton they shed off.
The largest, I think we got one to the whole 2 feet. I think we're trying to see if we can do it. We have a couple in our quarantine right now, and they're about 2 feet more.
One hidden Mickey coming up.
Okay, so on this page right here, we have our
She's going to feed them.
So if you guys want to take a step, it is wet, so go up here. Take a step up, put your hand under the sink, and you'll look good. You can just toss it towards the middle. Sometimes they like to splash. And once you feed them, if you want to take a step back, let everyone else feed. You're good to go. You guys want to come up? Go for it, Gina. Put your hand there with me. Anyone else?
Mike just noticed that these feeding bottles they have here have time slots on them.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks, welcome.
No, it's okay.
That's what you get for touching fish food.
Huh? It's not dangerous.
No.
It's all dried and
Yeah.
I do want to
We
film
don't
that.
make the fish food here. We do buy it from other companies. But it's mainly protein, a little bit of wheat in there.
They don't make the fish food here, they buy it. It's wet in here because it helps to slow down the allergy growth. Oh, it's so hot in there. Mike?
Tiny little seed that's reaching up to meet your need with the right amount of faith and the right amount of earth. You'll grow to see the sunshine on your day of birth.
What about this one?
Vanilla.
Vanilla, yes, not Play-Doh. I hear that a lot, but yeah, vanilla bean. Cinnamon. Nice. Yeah,
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Yes.
Yeah, very common one. Okay. That one smells weird.
That one does smell weird.
Okay, what do you guys think about this one? Oh yeah, cardamom. Yeah, I
Ah.
feel like that's a good guess, but no, that's right. So yeah, cardamom. So we have a cardamom plant right behind you guys. Usually people get that one off.
Saffron.
Okay, last one.
Saffron.
Saffron, yes. So, I'm going to talk a little bit more about these guys. The fun thing about these are the 5 most expensive spices in the world. And so I was going to have you guys put them in order. You guys can do it together, or just a couple volunteers. Do it, Ryan. So organize it. You can do like most expensive, the least if you want.
Go Spice Man. Figure it out, Spice Man.
I think saffron is up there. So expensive.
Which starting where? Most of it.
Most of us. Okay.
Okay.
Very close. Very close.
Oh no.
So we're just gonna.
Oh, very close.
So really
Wow.
close. Okay. So we'll start with the least expensive. So cinnamon, 5th most expensive spice in the world. And it's a bark from a tree, so a bark from a cinnamon tree. When you harvest it, you're gonna take a sheet off from a branch, let it dry, and it should curl up into a nice little stick for you. If not, then you get little chips that turn into a powder. So that's why it's pretty expensive, just because the process of getting it to look like a stick's a little hard. Nice. 4th most expensive, we said let's close. So these guys are a bud of a flower before it's open. So it's very time sensitive, so you have to get it right before it turns into a flower.
It's really good to treat
These guys
cold
are used
or the
in a
flu.
lot of, like apple ciders. I've seen them used to like hams, you might see them for hams, roast, things like that. They're pretty cool. This guy, cardamom. So yeah, very cool plant. So seeds of a flower. 3rd most expensive, just because they are a little hard to harvest. You have to dry them, things like that. Egyptians used to chew on these to clean their teeth. So if you imagine instead of brushing your teeth, you chew on these guys. It sounds a little weird, but. Cardamom? Yeah, so cardamom's used in a lot of Indian cooking. So it could be sweet bread, savory breads, things like that. So yeah, they're pretty good. Vanilla. So yeah, vanilla beans. So these are the seed of an orchid. So we have a tropical orchid vine here that these guys come off of. I'll put it out on our way back. So these guys, 2nd most expensive spice in the world, mainly because they're pollinators. They're only found in one certain region in Central America, Central Mexico. So anywhere else that you're growing it, you have to hand pollinate it. And that's why it's expensive. Okay, saffron. This one's cool. Okay, most expensive spice in the world. I think everyone got it. And that's because it is a very hard process to harvest it. So saffron comes from these really pretty blue crocus flowers. It's going to be the little red lines right there, the styles of the crocus flower. Pretty cool. Hollow flower right there.
Beautiful
And so
saffron
these little
flower.
styles have to be hand harvested with tweezers. So
Wow.
each flower has about 3 in there. And takes
That is
80,000
extreme.
flowers to produce 1 pound of saffron. So if you can imagine having to pick 80,000
Wow, my
flowers
God.
and take the styles out. Pretty crazy. A pound goes for about $2,000 to $3,000. The amount that we have right here is about $40. So pretty intense. They're used in a lot of seafood dishes. Things like that. Good job, guys. Excellent. You got your brown spice masters. Yeah. Give yourself a hand. This is the last stop on our tour. But before we leave,
One day, communities, lesser-known tropical plants will be
this is the old plant of greenhouse.
growing on both sides of the road.
Sounds like Kendra. Not very good at it.
More than 28 million tons of plants are eaten annually.
Black, red, white pepper, same thing. Just how you harvest it, red pepper is going to be the earliest ripe one. Black pepper a little later. The white pepper is almost more acid that takes up that outer coat. Do you guys want a picture? All three pictures for you. You want your whole group together. And you guys might want to last two pictures, and then we'll head back to the paint.
Picture time.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, love this tour. Gonna take a picture with that Mickey, me and Mike.
See the sunshine on the
Yeah,
day
of course.
Let's listen to the land we all love. When spring
Look, just walking inside that. That's so crazy. I think these are the names of the interns. Oh no, behind the seats. No, that's the name of the tour. A hidden Mickey. Well, hidden Mickey, not so hidden. Guys, I can tell you how much I'm enjoying this tour. The only thing I'm sorry about is that we cannot share with you what she's saying. She's too far away. Plus these earpieces, they're not loud enough. I tried putting them on the iPhone. So this is just to give you an idea, to put you in a mood. You just have to come here yourself and do this tour because it's so worth your time and money. I am loving this so much. I can't tell you how much. I think it's a good thing that Mike got us on this tour.